Selfie?
Hey, no, we're recording, honey.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're walking the lake. Yes, we are. Sexy as hell. Us too. What's up, people?
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new, I want to say welcome. And if you have been true and subscribed, I want to say welcome back. So in today's video, we will be doing my 4-month post-op for my tummy tuck, Lipo 360 and BBL. If you hear a dog breathing heavy in the background, I am dog sitting. Mind your business. And let's get into the video. So I know that there's been so many questions about my whole procedure, and I can continue to put it in the description that lists my BMI, the doctor I went to, how much I cost, but there's always going to be someone that does not pay attention to the descriptions that's in the video, or they just don't pay attention to the video itself, because I would also say it in the video. So it's two ways that I'm actually saying it. I don't know how they're missing that, but yeah, so I thought I would make a video about what you need to know and what my post-op, how it went. So foremost, I do want to say that I had my procedure done at Avana. Well, it wasn't at Avana Plastic Surgery. So I did book my procedure with Avana Plastic Surgery. But being that I was having multiple procedures, 3 different procedures, they thought it would be a best idea if I had it at the hospital. Because in case something goes wrong, the plastic surgery center that they're having it done at for Avana Plastic Surgery, those people most likely are going in just for 1 or 2 procedures, not 3, so they can handle whatever situation may arise. But they did not want to take a risk with someone like myself who was having 3 procedures, which is very understandable. The hospital I went to, they were able to accommodate me, and they were really nice there anyway. So I ended up having mine done at a community hospital, and I had to have 2 pre-ops. The reason why I had to have 2 pre-ops is because they wanted to make sure that I was actually medically qualified to have 3 procedures. So no matter how bad, my doctor submitted all the paperwork, lab work that they requested, which I got my clearance letter from my doctor. And then once you submit it to your coordinator, your surgical coordinator, she also gives you the clearance that basically it's okay to get on the plane and come down here. You can have the procedure. But when I got down there, they do an extra precaution and made me do 2 pre-ops. So I did have to have 2 pre-ops. And once I got down there, I had one with Avana Plastic Surgery, and then I had one with the actual hospital I was going to have my procedure with. And I had to meet with the anesthesiologist there, and then I had to meet with the nurse. And she asked me questions that Avana Plastic Surgery already knew in my lab work. So I basically, and they had copies of my lab work anyway, but they still had to ask questions. Is this your first procedure? Have you had any other procedures? And all of that stuff. Do you have any medical history within your family that we should know about? So then once I did all that and got cleared with them, then I had to go over to Avana Plastic Surgery like later that day. So it's already packed at this point because they had me go, I think around 9 o'clock to the hospital. And then that took about an hour and a half. And then I had to meet at 11 at Avana Plastic Surgery. So girls were already there around 8 or 9. But being that I had 2, I showed up to Avana for my second pre-op with them, later in the day. So it's like already 40 girls waiting there. And I feel like it was like a sweatshop. Like, I don't know how they was going to physically be able to handle and do all those girls in the same day. Like how? Like the amount of girls that was there for the pre-op, I'm like, they're going to have surgery on all these girls literally the next day. I know there's multiple doctors with Avana, but it's just like, how are you going to dedicate that much time to all of these women? That's how I was like so confused. But nevertheless, I got in, went to the front desk, got checked in. They told me to sit down in the waiting room, which was barely any seats. I was able to grab a seat, did not move because I didn't want to lose my seat because there were some women that were standing. But I got my paperwork 30 to 40 minutes after sitting. I was still, because you get this big this big folder full of paper that you have to sign. They highlight everything you need to sign. So I didn't get that folder until like 40 minutes. So time is just, I already felt like this is going to take hours. So my daughter's outside waiting. She was out there for like 4 hours by the time I was done with pre-op. Let me tell you that. So about 40 minutes into that, they gave me my folder, and then another 30 minutes from there, maybe 20 minutes, I was then called to the back. Then you have to strip out of your clothes and go take photos. So you strip out of your clothes, they take before pictures of your body on how you look, and then you go back to your room that they assign you to, and you sit 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 and you sit. And then you sit and you sit and you sit. And it's just like hours are going past. And I'm like, nobody's coming into the room. Then I'll get somebody to come and go over my paperwork. Say, yep, your labs look great. Yep, your hemoglobin looks good. You're at a 12.5, which is very high. Normally they require like 11 point something. I was doing good on my iron because I was doing it every day. So I knew mine was going to be the 12th because I wanted to make sure that I was good enough to do 3 procedures at once. So then she left after doing that, said another nurse, a doctor will be meeting with you because you're having your surgery done at the hospital. We have to make sure that you have no family history. The same thing that the first pre-op at the hospital said to me. So that took 2 hours. So at this point, my daughter's outside burning because it's hot in Florida. They wouldn't allow her to come in. You can't have any visitors but the person who's having the procedure. So she's just outside waiting on me. So I was starting to get like irritated because I had to already get up at 8 to be at the hospital at 9. So then you mean to tell me I don't leave until like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock out of the dang pre-op with you guys? That's my whole day. So of course somebody's going to be agitated. There all these surgical coordinators are leaving and walking right past the room. So I finally, and then they'll close the door. So I kept thinking that they were forgetting about me. So I would open the door like, no, don't forget about me. Y'all left me in this room for hours. Like the more this door is closed, no one's going to see me. So I kept opening it. Then somebody would go by and close it. So I stood at the door like, well, you're just going to have to close it in my face because I need you guys to know that I've been sitting here for this long. And they kept saying, well, the doctor still needs to see you. Well, where's the doctor? Well, she's with someone else. I said, well, I need to be seen right away. I'm just going to walk out. I'm still going to go get my procedure tomorrow. I bet you that because I already got cleared at the hospital. All this extra stuff y'all having me do at the Avana plastic surgery is done for. If I got approved at the actual hospital, I'm going to have this procedure, whether you guys see me or not. So they said, no, we're going to get somebody in there. So then I finally seen the late ass doctor and she went over my questions and my history. Then I thought it was over because I'm already been there for hours and every girl has left. But again, they were holding me back because I had 3 procedures that I was having. So I had to go through more steps than everybody there. So people are leaving. So I knew then this is just way too long. Then there's there's another person that needs to see you, your surgical coordinator. Like, why does she need to see me? She's not a fucking doctor and she's not a nurse. What does she need to see me for? And it's like, well, she want to go over a few things because you're going to have it at the hospital. I said, I know this. You guys said this. It says it on my folder. She's having the procedure at the hospital. I already went to my pre-op. I know that I have to meet at the hospital at 6 a.m. So I don't get what she needs to re-say that to me in my face. So she comes in the room, 40 minutes, almost an hour, waiting on the surgical coordinator just to tell me the same thing. So now I'm just really irritated. So I'm ready to go at this point. So I finally got to leave. You know, we had food and I was exhausted by the end of that day. I was just like, let's just go to the next day so I can get this procedure over with. So then I had my procedure at the hospital. What I think I messed up on is when I was at pre-op at the hospital the day before my surgery. They kept asking me, like, you sure you don't want to stay at the hospital at night? I'm like, no, I can handle it at home. My daughter's a teenager. She can help me grab things when I need it. And I should have keyed in to that instead of trying to be hardcore, like I can handle it, because it was clearly rough. So they kept saying, you sure? I'm like, yeah. Well, they like, well, we need to make sure that you have someone to pick you up because you're going to be in very much so pain, and we need to know who's going to be picking you up. So I was letting them know that StayRN would be my post transportation to pick me up. I'll be fine. They are already aware of that. I gave them your guys' number. Please call this number if you also don't, so they can know when to come pick me up. Well, after I woke up out of surgery, it was very hard to wake up. I don't know why. I've had my breast done before. So me going for this procedure, I'm like, the anesthesia are going to be the same thing. My body's going to react. But I was very, very sleepy. I felt like I wasn't ready to get up. And that's where I went wrong, because my ride was out there at 3 o'clock. I had my surgery at 7. And I still felt very tired and weak. Like I can't obviously get up. And that's where I went wrong, because they told me to just stay at the hospital. Did I want to? And I said no. So now Stay RN is already outside and it's 3 o'clock. I need to figure out how to get up. But I kept going to sleep and they kept saying to me, Andrea. And I'm like, I can hear them, but my eyes were still like heavy. Like it was still like I was very much sleepy and very drowsy. And then when they would try to sit me up, I got lightheaded and my eyes went black. So I knew that means I'm about to pass out. And then they went incoherent. Like I couldn't no longer hear people talking. So I kept saying, pass out, or I kept saying like just one worded things to them, let them know I'm about to black out, that this is it. Like, catch me if I fall, like catch me. So all I could tell them is just pass out. And they knew then to grab the alcohol swabs and, you know, put it on my nose, and that would bring me back. And then also I had to throw up. So I was saying just one worded answers, like throw up, like, so they would just do the alcohol, and it worked. So they was like, you can't leave until you pee. So then I said just one moment. I kept saying one moment to let them know, like, just one moment, you're going too fast. But they're just trying to get me out to Stay RN before she pulls off. So I was able to just sit on the bed instead of trying to get to the wheelchair. Let me sit up first, get my brain to like know what's going on so I don't black out or throw up. Like, let me just sit here before we do hasty moves. And they kind of figured it out. And then they said I had to pee before I get discharged. Like they got to make sure that you make your first pee. So I just didn't really have the urge to pee, but they were like saying you can't leave until you pee. There's like, you have a diaper on, pee. But they must then know that the diaper wasn't fastened all the way. Like it wasn't like strapped. The diaper was like, when they did my surgery, I think Dr. Miminiscus he didn't strap it onto me. So I went to go pee, and then the diaper just fell off and I peed on the floor. But they didn't care. At this point, they're like, shit, fuck it, at least she peed. So they had to clean that up. But they were so nice. I swear they were so nice. I wish I could like speak Spanish, because they were so nice. But they knew what I was trying to say. So they got me into the transportation. You know, I already can tell you it's going to be a whole nother story on Stay RN itself. I don't want to go into details about that. But if you guys paid attention to the video, you know basically what happened with that. So Stay RN got me to my hotel. She at least got me into my bed. She said, you're handling it very well. She said, why aren't you crying? And I'm like, most people that only get BBLs are crying. You're not even crying. I'm thinking in my head, I think I said to her, or I must have said I think I said it to her. I said, well, there's no sense of crying. That's not going to stop the pain. She was like, yeah, that's true. So she put me in the bed. This is where things went wrong. She put me on my butt, and she said, being that you had a tummy tuck, you cannot be on your stomach. They just don't recommend that. But that was the problem at the hospital. I kept telling them, please turn me over. I forgot to tell you guys that. I kept telling them to turn me over. They said, we can't turn you over. I said, my butt, it hurts. And they were like, no, we can't turn you over. So I said, but it hurts. So they started putting they have like really warm blankets. They prepped my butt up. So while I'm laying down on the bed, they put some like cushion in it, and it helped take the weight off my butt. It didn't take away all of the pain, but it took some of the weight off my butt. It's something about when you get the fat injected in your butt and you instantly lay on your butt, That's the worst thing. But what did I expect? I had multiple procedures. It isn't like I had much to choose from. Now for my BBL girls, you know, you'll be good on your stomach. You're not having a tummy tuck, so your butt will be fine. You won't feel the pain that I had. But for the girls who's having multiple procedures, good luck. They gotta put you on your butt. So anyway, Staryn put me up back on my butt. As soon as I kept telling her, no, I set this up this way so I can come back and lay on my stomach. I don't want to lay on my butt. She's like, well, unfortunately, I got to put you on your butt. So she rearranged my whole bed that I prepped before I got in my Uber to head to my surgery. She was like, no, we have to put you on your butt. So I was like, oh, she's doing what the hospital said. She got to put me on my butt. Girl, as soon as she left, I don't care how pain I was, fresh out of the hospital, fresh out of my surgery. Soon as Staryn left, I had my daughter grab my arm to get me out of bed, hunched over and everything, stitched up from a tummy tuck, and I rearranged the pillow to be a cushion on my stomach so I wouldn't put all the weight on my tummy. And then I put 2 pillows on by my legs so I could prop up my legs. And then I had one up on my upper here so I can be able to lay. So I had pillows propping me up all throughout. So I laid back on my tummy. And I was fine. I don't get why people think it's the worst thing to do. I'm not a doctor, but do what's best for you. But I'm just telling you my experience. It really hurted to be on my butt. So that was that. I can say the first massage, did I capture that first massage or was that my second day? I think you guys caught my second day massage. My first day massage was very much intense and it didn't hurt like hurt. I feel like the pressure and how sensitive your body is, it feels like your skin is not really your skin. It feels like my skin is attached from the meat, if that makes sense, or detached from the bone, or whatever the case may be. So it's just a weird out-of-body experience. So that's what it really felt like to me, honestly. So not pain too much, but let's keep in mind, that's where the lipo was. Now, if she was to, you know how she massages downward, and remember I had a tummy tuck scar going there, and that was, you know, stitches and everything. So that part is still, it's numb. So I didn't feel anything on the actual incision. So that was the good thing. And my doctor, Dr. Miminiscus, he decided to stitch up all my holes. So I would not actually drain from my holes where like the lipo was done at, or the injections. So my the squeezer lady, they had to make sure that they're draining it to my drains that was attached. So she's like, oh, they stitched up all your holes, so basically we have to drain it in there. I'm thinking like, well, that's good. Like, as long as they stitch them up, just drain it from the actual drains. I don't need all these open wounds, especially with the amount of procedures that I had. So that was good that he did it that way, so it can just go into the 2 drains that I had. So the massages was good. I cannot stress, if no one ever does a massage, I just don't know how you can make it. Because what's the crazy thing about it? It's tense and it's sore when they're doing it. Yes, I'll give you that. And the squeeze lady said this to me, and I'm thinking like, yeah, right. She's like, you're going to feel good. As soon as you shower after this, you're going to feel good and relieved. I'm thinking like, yeah, right. As you're doing this, it's just really rough on me. I'm not going to feel relieved. But as soon as I stepped in the shower at the hotel and relaxed for the remainder of the day, I actually felt really good. I felt relieved. It's the best feeling. It's like you look forward to for me, I looked forward to the massages because I knew afterwards I would feel relieved. So and the crazy thing is I kept taking like the pain medication that I had for my breast surgery. Because remember, I never got my pain I still got the RX in my room, which is expired now. It's been over 90 days. But I still have the RX. But anyway, I was taking my pain medication each time she would come. And she was like, did you have a bowel movement? I'm like, no. She's like, you're 3 days and no bowel movement? I'm like, no. She said, are you still taking pain medication? I said, yeah. She said, why are you still taking? I said, I don't know if this was the reason why I wasn't feeling pain with these massages. I thought, let me help myself each time you come in so I don't have to feel pain. She was like, no, you don't need to take it anymore. You are handling your massages very well, unlike other people. She was like, you don't need to take this at all. So she was right. She came that next day. I was like, she better be right because I ain't taking pain medication. And sure enough, I was handling it. I just really thought the pain medication was the reason why I wasn't feeling pain. But long story short, it's just that it wasn't painful as what I was thinking. So I didn't need to. So I stopped taking that, and I just want to give people advice down in Miami. I went with just me and my daughter. My daughter is 15, and I didn't have nobody to go with. I was single woman, just going down. The person I was going to go down with couldn't get off work to come down, so it was just me and my daughter. So the reason why I couldn't vigorously go check out all these Walgreens or CVS to go get my prescription is because I didn't have nobody to go with me. So note to people, please go down there with someone. Don't be like me and just go down there with your daughter. Unless you have a daughter or son that knows how to drive, then go down there. Maybe they can drive around while you're recovering at home or Airbnb, and they can go hunt down some pain medication for you. But I had the hardest time. I know that there was a shortage in Miami. I fully prepared for that because that's all you hear on YouTube is it's really hard down there. It's the land of surgery. So all the pharmacies they're out of the medication. So I can say that if you have pain medication or extra strength Tylenol, just bring you something to get you by, which I'm glad I did. So I was able to continue on. Like, I prepared myself by watching YouTube videos. So I hope you guys are doing the same thing. So when I hit roadblocks, that I could be able to get myself out of the situation. And obviously I could not find pain medication when you see in the video. So I was able to cope with the pain medication I had for my breast surgery. That got me by. So also, what else? So just be mindful of that. And what else? Far as in recovery, it is very rough for people who are having multiple procedures like me. I just felt like every day there was something going on, like I was bleeding from the drains that were connected to like my pubic area. I don't know if they're constantly being tugged, but on day one, no, I just think it only happened on day one. Maybe it was just they had to freaking heal up a little bit, but they were bleeding, so I kind of got it on the bathroom floor, but I was able to clean that up. Another thing for people having a tummy tuck, I don't know if you will be prescribed this. I wasn't prescribed this, but again, I came prepared because I Googled and I researched. I had a breast augmentation before 2 years ago or a year ago, and I still have my muscle relaxers. Muscle relaxers because I have my breast implants that were under the muscle. So you wouldn't be in pain, so your muscles would be relaxed. They prescribed muscle relaxers. I never used all of my muscle relaxers. It was like a full bottle. So I took those down to Miami. Like, I don't know what I'll need this for. Keep it. But I'm so glad I did that because Avana didn't prescribe me muscle relaxers for my tummy tuck. Again, they repaired my muscles. So people are wondering, like, how were you on day 3 and 4 cleaning up the hotel room, bending over, picking up stuff? I said I don't know if you guys can go back to my message, but I said to the girl who was asking, I was like, I use my muscle relaxers. So when I bend over, I couldn't feel anything. My muscles were so relaxed, which I needed that. So I can't say that that's going to help you guys because I don't know what you'll be prescribed. It doesn't seem like in Miami they're prescribing any muscle relaxers. Luckily, I had that for myself. So helpful tip, that's what I did for myself. So far as in the actual procedure itself, do I regret it? No, I do not regret the procedure itself. I love my butt. I love my stomach. I love my tummy tuck. I love my new belly button. I love everything. It was the best decision I could have ever made. Also, do I like the surgery center and my Dr. Memeniscus and my surgery, Avana plastic surgery? Yes and no. I love Dr. Memeniscus. He's so nice. He listened to me. He asked me what I wanted, but again, I was like kind of like nervous and shy, and I just was like, just put me under the knife. Like all these questions y'all asking me, I'm like, I was ready for the 3 procedures. I didn't know what to expect. So my questions, I kind of blanked out. And I'm like, just do whatever is going to look natural. I'm not going to be picky. And that's what I said to him. And then next thing you know, they're rolling me in, and I went to sleep, and it felt like it was the quickest sleep. But I think he was really doing surgery on me more than just what the anesthesia made me think. Because I swear I felt like I only was asleep for a second. But so I don't regret him at all. He's amazing. And if anybody could choose a doctor that's reasonable, choose Dr. Miminiscus. Now, keep in mind that Avana does have different doctors' prices based on how good they are. And Miminiscus was in the middle top. But people be hesitant to get the ones that are not at the top, which I looked at his credentials, never had a death. He's board certified. Why wouldn't I do Miminiscus? Yes, there's doctors at Avana that's on the top tier, but obviously he didn't do nothing wrong, so he was worth it. So that's my take on that. Don't always go by, the top doctors need to be chosen. Yeah, they do need to be chosen, but they also are always chosen. And they probably have a lot of patients that they do. Do they take the time because everybody's booking with them? Look at stuff like that. Like Dr. Miminiscus, he takes his time because I don't think a lot of people choose him. So he doesn't have all his patients. So he got the time to dedicate to doing your procedure. And plus, I was the first one he did anyway. He met me at the hospital. And then later that day after he was done with me, he had to go to Avana plastic surgery and do these girls' BBLs. But being that I was his first patient because I was at the hospital and I had all these procedures that he had to do, I became first, which that's fine. Dedicate I wanted him to be fully rested before he touched on me. So that was that. And yeah, I don't regret it. The reason why I say yes and no with Avana plastic surgery is because I booked with another surgery center because Avana plastic surgery, I had a different surgical coordinator from a year ago. And she wouldn't communicate with me at all. So I wasn't feeling confident that when I got down to Miami, when it was time for my surgery date, that everything would run smoothly. She was I never could reach her, send emails, never would follow up. Then when I called the number, they'll leave a message. Then she'll follow up, but I'll miss it because I'm on lunch. And it's just like it was a pattern. I'll try to reach out to her again. So I finally just asked for a manager since she wanted to keep calling on her lunch, and I would miss her. So then that's when it would kick her into overdrive. Then she would communicate with like, why do I got to talk to your manager for you to get back to me? So I knew then like this isn't going to be good because the way she would take her precious time. So luckily for me, I had to push my surgery forward because I was buying a house and moving out of my apartment, and it wasn't the right time to be going down to Miami for my surgery. So lo and behold, I ended up having my surgery in 2022 instead of 2021 or 2020. I think it was 2 years. So I ended up having a new surgical coordinator, and that one was amazing. But I didn't know that until I called and I realized I had a new surgical coordinator. So by that time, I didn't know. I reached out to a different surgical place to get a price, and they ended up being $2,000 more. And I was like, well, I'll go with them. They seems like they communicate very well. I'd rather stick with them. So I put a deposit down. Well, when it came down to my paperwork and my lab work, they were making me go through more steps with them than Avana plastic surgery. So I was going to wait to pay them in cash down in Miami, Florida, on whichever one was showing me that they were really going to be serious. Well, I didn't know that Avana says, no, we'd rather take it now so we can give you your clearance letter via email. We, pay in full, they kept saying. I'm like, oh, I can't pay in cash? Well, they say if you want clearance letter that you are clear before you get on the plane. I'm like, ooh, I'd rather know that I'm clear before I get on the plane. So I ended up not dealing with this other surgery place. And I can't think of their name. That's why I'm calling them surgery place. But it's in my video. So I scratched them. They ended up calling me, talking about, was there a reason why you didn't go with us? And I just let them know that you guys kept having me go back in circles. Somehow I need that you were missing this paperwork, and I felt like I got it to you. My doctor had faxed it. What's the problem? So I just went ahead with a different one. They're like, oh, okay. And they didn't even care. Like, that's how bad they don't even care. So I ended up giving my $7,000 to Avana, and I got my clearance letter and email, and they said, we can't wait to see you down in Miami, Florida. And they just gave me all the stuff, meet here, meet there. So it was just reassurance. And it was my first time on a plane. For some reason, I just wanted reassurance by the time I got down to Miami that it was really happening. So I didn't need any more stress with the actual procedure. So if I had to give you guys my $7,000, then, you know, I'm going to give that to you. So and I already gave them because my procedure was $7,500. So I already gave them the $500 deposit. They were waiting on the rest of the $7,000. So I gave them that. So I don't regret any of that. I think their communication did improve. I hope that continues at Avana. People love when the surgical coordinators are communicating. You can't stress that enough. Like, it ain't always about taking our money. We want to make sure that, are you going to be communicating with us all the way until we actually get on that plane? Like, nobody wants no surprises when they get down there. There was one thing about a lady that when I was waiting at pre-op at Avana, there was one angry person who BMI was way too high, and she got canceled and she wanted a refund, and it was over 30 days. So she came in person to see what was going on, and she requested a manager. But I don't think that's necessarily the plastic surgery fault, Avana Plastic Surgery's fault. Maybe I'm thinking like that's more on your fault. Now, maybe I don't know the logistics on why they still didn't give her a refund, but they do tell you the guidelines of what your BMI is supposed to be like. So if you're not dieting before it gets close to your thing, yes, they are going to cancel you. So I can't necessarily blame Avana, even though that was a negative thing that I instantly seen. So I know that when my BMI was like 21, 24, something like that. So mine was a low BMI because I'm 5'8", and at the time I weighed 164 pounds. I used to be 130, so I gained about 30 pounds to have the procedure. Unfortunately, I'm now 159. I don't know if I'm not eating enough now. I'm not sure if when they did my lipo and they did my tummy tuck, did y'all take out a couple pounds? Because your girl is only 159 now. I used to be 164. So that's a lot of pounds to me that's gone, like 6 pounds. But that's okay. My body still looks good, so I can't complain. I can always gain it back how I did. So that's totally fine. Healing. Unfortunately, the stomach still wants to swell, so I'm still in my garment. I know that you don't have to wear like the foam boards and all ab boards and all of that stuff. I still wear it for the front because I feel like there's so much swelling. Not so much, because it has went down tremendously. Let me not lie to you guys. It's only a little swelling that I still see left. So I still wear my faja at night. So you know how they say after your procedure, the first 2 months you wear 24 hours, and then, no, I think it's a month you wear 24 hours. Don't quote me on that. I think I got to go back and research. And then after that, you go to 12 hours. So my 12 hours used to be in the daytime. So while I'm at work, I can just wear it. But I noticed like walking around or sitting around just wearing the faja during the day was harder for me. So now I just wear it at night. So I do wear my faja and I also like how it's shaping my butt. So that's the reason why I wear my faja. I've had my faja altered twice. My faja has been altered twice. Pretty Girl Curves, they gave me a medium. Large. Yeah, they gave me a large. And I got it altered twice, so to stage 2, and then I don't even know if it's such thing as stage 3, but I got it altered again. So it's so tight now. And then I had this other one that I bought online that my butt couldn't fit in right after surgery because my butt was too big. But now that I got my real size of my butt now I can get into that one I bought off Amazon prior to my surgery, and now my butt can fit in there. I got that altered once so it can snatch me around the waist. So I'm pretty much good on the alteration so far. I think whatever my size is now, that's kind of much what it's going to be right now. Like, I don't see a dramatic difference anymore. Like, you know, when they say you lose your butt fat, I think whatever my fat is right now is definitely going to be Crazy thing is the fluff fairy I thought came, and I think I even mentioned it on one of my videos, but the fluff fairy hasn't came. What's happening is when I'm on my monthly menstrual, you know how you bloat? I noticed that my thighs and my butt gets big around the bloating. So I thought it was like, oh dang, is the fluff fairy here? Definitely the fluff fairy is not here. It comes around 6 months. But what I was seeing on that video was because I was on my menstrual. So keep in mind that will happen. Bloating will make you think, girl, your hips is big, your butt's big, but then it goes away after bloating. So that's what that was. So I'll wait till the 6 months to see what the bloating with the fluff fairy would look like. So I like how I just look natural and kind of look normal. I just feel like my butt's not too big for my frame because I'm skinny and tall. So I can't wait to continue to see what it's going to be like moving forward as far as in my snatching my sides and a little bit of the swelling in the front to go down. Love my belly button. My scar is improving. I will be doing my microneedling in 2 more weeks because they say 4 to 6 weeks. So I want to at least wait the 6-week mark before I go back in and do another one. So that's been good. I still sit on my BBL pillow, especially since I work an office job. I walk 25% on my job because I'm a supervisor, but then I also work on emails and I'm in a lot of meetings. So I do sit down a lot. So I travel with my BBL pillow to every work site that I'm at because I supervise support staff who are at 4 different locations. So whichever location I travel to, the BBL pillow has to come. So my BBL pillow's been through everything. I have to take the thing off, zip it off, the fabric part off so I can wash it because you're sitting that BBL pillow in multiple chairs. Like, I don't want no dirty BBL pillow. I don't know if after 4 months, are you still supposed to sit on that? I heard from Google, it's not even going to make a difference to continue to sit on this. But the reason why I still keep sitting on it, because I noticed after a while of 8 hours of sitting in a chair at an office, my butt will start to hurt in areas. And it didn't used to do that when I didn't have a BBL. So I know it has nothing to do with the chair being uncomfortable because that been the chairs that I sit in before I have my BBL. So I know it's the procedure. So I just want to give my butt some type of cushion. So in case I'm sitting too long off a BBL pillow. So yes, after 4 months, I still use my BBL pillow. That's totally up to your discretion. Do what's best for you. But I know me having an office job, noticing sitting on my butt for 8 hours, it does hurt. So I don't want that pain. So I bring my BBL and I still sit on it. Yes, I do. And as far as in my butt, when I'm in bed, do I still lay on my butt? Like, how am I sleeping? So at my 4 months post-op, I do sleep on my butt because it's 4 months at this point. It is what it is. But what I can tell you is it's like 1 or 2 hours I'll lay on my butt because I like to lay on my back and just watch some TV. But majority of the time I'm on my stomach. So I do give my butt a break. So I'll just lay on it for like 2 hours. So I do that. And what else? Trying to think what else. Oh, so for massages, I still self-massage because that's kind of what I like to do. It saves me money, and I'm, as far as I'm preparing for my grand opening and my store, I have to save all my coins. So I do self-massage, but I am going to some body sculpting treatments. My coworker / friend, she has a sister that opened up a body sculpture business, and I want to go there so they can just sculpt me and get me all snatched even more. So I will be doing that. So that's not massages, that's actually body, and she has the red light, she has all that stuff. So I think it'll be good. So I will be doing that, and she has reasonable prices. So I will be doing that. And yeah, sorry if you could hear the dog. He breathes very hard. So what else? I think that's pretty much it. Let me think. If I have more, just let me know if you guys have any more things that you want to talk about. If you want to see how the body is looking. Oh, and then there was somebody that left a rude comment, your body just looks like everybody else's body. I don't know what you were getting out of that. but kudos to you. That made you feel good? That made you feel good? Because I can care less what you think, actually. So I left your comment. You didn't get no reaction out of me in the comment section, but you will get a reaction today on this video. So you know who you are. Since my body looks like everybody's body, then why are you watching? Why are you watching? Like, people be so like in your business. Like, I don't give a care. It's my body and I do what I want to do. So, but anyway, had to get that out because, yeah, you know, it's always got to be a hater in the mix. But let me show you my body. So this is the body. I think it looks good, guys. What do you think? This is how skinny I am right now. This is the butt. So I think it looks good. So, yeah, we're healing. Oops. So yeah, we're healing pretty good. I just want to thank everybody for tuning into this video. I kind of want to talk about, you know, just what I went through and how's everything going. And, you know, just keep you guys informed about everything. You'll do just fine. For all my sisters that are going in for their BBLs or tummy tucks or Lipo 360s, please reach out if you have any questions I can help you out with, or just anything. So keep in mind, just avoid the negative videos before you go in for your procedure, because that actually does no justice. It doesn't help you out at all, actually. It just makes you more nervous and more scared. Look at the positive videos before going into your procedure. You will be totally fine. So, and also just drink lots of water, relax. Take it 1 minute, 1 day, and 1 hour at a time. Do what's best for you. Don't try to rush anything. Like, if you know that you are not feeling well and you have to go do your 15-minute walks because you want to keep the blood flow after surgery and you're feeling dizzy, sit up on the bed. Take a moment. Take a couple minutes. I knew if I fainted, who was going to take care of my daughter and who was going to do this. So just take your time. Luckily, my daughter was there along the way, so she was able to help me. And don't eat what I eat, because obviously I was eating greasy, fat foods. I was feeling like the chicken nuggets was just stuck here. I don't know, after surgery. I just don't know why your throat is so dry. Like, I sounded like, well, I already have a deep voice, but I sounded like hoarse after surgery. So you guys can literally see in the videos. But yeah, so pretty much, you're going to go through a lot. It's going to seem like you can't do it, but you actually can do it. I want to speak that into existence for everyone. And I hope everybody gets the procedure and the desired results that they are looking for. And no matter what, you're still beautiful. Don't let nobody else tell you otherwise. So yeah, this video is just about that. Oh, and I have an update. So your girl's not single anymore. So I am back dating. Well, we're together now, but I decided to start back talking to an ex of mine that I broke up with. And it wasn't for any reason far as in him himself. It was more of, I was in a back and forth relationship with my ex-fiance, and when he would drop back in my life, I will cut him off to be with him. I know that's just like backwards, because now in the long run, I realize that we just are not compatible. So I stopped going back in circles with that person. And now I started to just have a relationship with him solely now. And he never did anything, never cheated, never nothing, was just a wonderful man. And here I am breaking up with him to be with a loser. Like, you know what I mean? Like a person that just don't deserve you, just waste your time, just spends years and years and we never grow. We just sit here. Like, everybody else is growing around us as far as a relationship, but we're just bickering, don't belong together. So I know my worth now. So I just know not to go back and forth with a person that just don't deserve my time. So it just feels good to be in a happy relationship. And your girl's happy. Like, I'm not, like, no joke, I'm happy. Like for real. Like, I just think, like, it's so crazy how you don't see that until it's years later. Like, what was I doing with my life? Like, really, what was I doing? But yeah, he makes me happy. And he does DJ. He DJs at multiple places. He's very, very attractive. I would show YouTube, but I just know that women are going to try to get after him, and you can't have him. That's mine. And he's just an older man. And like when I say he's older than me, I'm 33. He's like 15 years older than me. But he looks so young. I think because he eats healthy. So yeah, we just... Like, I think he even gave me this hickey, I think. Yep. And your girl is dark skinned, but that really, yeah, guys don't judge. But, yeah, so I'm definitely happy, and I don't know. I really like him. So we will see how it goes. I just want to let you guys know that. And thank you guys for tuning in to this video. I'll definitely see you in the next clip.